Hello and welcome to Cut the Cable Cord. My name is Amy Hinkles. I am a reference librarian here at the Ela Area Public Library. I teach and coordinate the majority of the computer and technology classes, and I'm going to be sharing with you guys about cutting the cable cord. So a couple things before we get started. I'm going to go to the next slide. Here's a brief overview of what we're going to be talking about today. We're going to be talking about cord cutting, the different devices that you can use, what streaming services are available. I'm going to warn you, there's a lot, and I'm not going to cover all of them. But this is just going to get you started. And then I'm going to share some helpful resources. So a couple things. This is my first time actually teaching this class. I see some more people popping on and I love it. So if you have never taken a class by me before, I welcome questions. So if you have something, you can either pop it in. There should be a Q&A available somewhere in Zoom, or you can pop it in the chat. I will be monitoring both. Okay, I'm just checking everything. Okay, no open questions. So please, like if you have a question, pop it in. If I don't see it while I'm talking about it, I will definitely put things at the end. I am also going to, in the chat, I'm going to pop in my email. Something that happens with me whenever I take a class or a course, I learn something and then I go and apply it, and then I have questions because I'm like, oh wait, what did that person say? So please, like if something comes up, if you have a question about what I talked about, you're more than welcome to email me. You're not going to bother me, so please do that. And keep in mind, you heard the message. Zoom does this. This meeting is being recorded. I will be posting it on the library's YouTube channel, so you can go back and reference what is talked about in here. And that will be available. It will be emailed out to those who have registered, and I have your email address. But if you didn't, it's going to be on the library's YouTube channel. So you can just go to YouTube, search Ela Area Public Library. That's what I do when I want to go and check things, or look at the library's YouTube channel. We have a lot of other videos on there, recordings from different programs, computer stuff, other things. It's really fun. There's a lot of resources from the library, so we're really glad you are here. Trying to think if there's anything else. And also the other thing to keep in mind, this is a lot of information, so you can always go back and listen to it, but things are always updating and always changing. So keep that in mind. So some of this information, it may not be relevant with some of the pricing. With all of my slides, I was doing some updating as of like 15 minutes ago. So everything as of right now is up to date. Hopefully, fingers crossed. So let's get started. Okay, cool. All right, so what is cord cutting? So basically what this is it's people all around the world are removing their cable service and replacing it with streaming subscriptions and devices instead of cable. I'm going to be fully honest. I am in my late 30s, just to give you guys a frame of reference. In my adult life, I have never actually had cable. I have always done streaming, used devices. For a long time, I didn't even have a TV. I would stream from my laptop computers. I did grow up having cable, so I I love my age and my unique experience because I grew up without all the technology that's around now. And so I have both of these perspectives on everything. But cord cutting is this process of just cutting ties with cable service and replacing it with streaming services and devices instead of cable. So you may be asking, like, how do I stream? You do need a wireless internet. You do need some way to be able to stream, like a streaming device. You need a subscription to a streaming service, and you need to be able to connect your TV with an HDMI. I have a little story. When this was probably in 2019, my mom had given me this like really old TV and it did not have an HDMI port. You can buy adapters, and I was able to connect, I believe it was an Amazon Fire Stick, to the TV, and it was horrible quality. It was a tiny TV, but I was able to use a TV and stream instead of using my laptop. So um, basically, you need a TV, you need some way to connect the streaming device, and that streaming device is what allows your TV to connect to the internet, and then you're able to stream um, shows, movies, documentaries, whatever it is that you want. Any questions so far? I'm just gonna check everything. Nope, we're good. Awesome. Excellent. So pros and cons of cutting, cable cutting. So it's depending on what you do and how you do it. There's more flexibility and options. That's a pro. It can be cheaper. There's an option for no commercials, and everything is on demand. So the cost effectiveness that has changed with the cable cutting. One of the pros for me is, at least from what I have heard from my parents, growing up, or even recent, like, when I have conversations with my parents, it's this, oh, the cable's going up again. I have to call. I have phone anxiety. So for me, a pro is I don't have to call and deal with a cable company just to get like a cheaper price. And there's less channels. Yeah, the package, like, that stresses me out. So it's a pro. I don't have to deal with this. And with the streaming services, there's no contracts. So you can kind of mix and match and play around with things. And there's ways to save money and have access to things like when you want to use them. Some cons of cable cutting, there's you're kind of restricted with the content available, and you do need to purchase at least one streaming services. There you will miss out on some exclusive content. um, if you watch a lot of TV, it could end up costing more to get the same amount of content. So it really depends. For me, I've always saved money with not even getting cable, because um, up until a few years ago, when I started working here, I held multiple jobs and I was working all the time, and I could never like watch TV when shows were live. And so that's why I really liked streaming services, especially Hulu, which I'll talk about in a bit. When Hulu first came out, what I liked about them is they aired, I used to watch Grey's Anatomy. I could watch my Grey's Anatomy the next day. It would be on Hulu. I could watch it whenever. I could still keep up with the show. I didn't have to worry about DVRs, if you remember those, like TiVo and stuff. And so it saved me money, and I was still able to watch what I wanted to watch. So that is that. So, and now I'm going to be talking about devices. And so with these devices, they basically allow your TV, if it's not already a smart TV, which I'll talk about that in a bit, but it allows your TV to connect to the internet so that you can watch your shows. So I am going to send with the replay a copy of these slides, and everything is linked. I think, here we go. So this is the Roku site. I know I didn't put a lot in the slides because I wanted this to be able to stand the test of time. And if things change prices, then you can get the up-to-date information. Of course, I'm starting with my preferred streaming device right now, the Roku. This is why I love it. It is pretty cheap. I'm pretty sure that I'm pretty sure I just have this one here, the $30 one. I may have this $40 one. I really don't remember what I bought. But what I like about this is it's pretty simple to hook up. You just, if your TV has an HDMI port, you just plug it into the TV. And then the remote, if you can kind of see, it might be a little small, but on the side here, you can connect your remote to the TV. And you can turn your TV on and off with the remote and also control the volume. Anything that allows me to reduce the amount of remotes that I have so I don't get confused is a plus. And then there's some shortcut buttons. So they put like Netflix, Disney Plus, Amazon Prime. And then I think that might be an Apple TV Plus, not to be confused with the device, which I'll talk about in a bit. But the differences between these, they range from like $30 to this one, or these two are $100. And you can see they have the different features listed here. The cheaper ones, you can do a voice activated remote, and it has TV controls. And then you can see like the quality. So for me, I don't need really big quality because I tend to watch TV as I'm falling asleep. I'm really more listening to it, not watching it. I'm an odd duck, I know that. But then they have like 4K, which this is like the better picture. And the $50 one, it just has like a better picture. And then this stream bar, it has 4K streaming, and it has a sound bar, so the sound can be better. So basically, here's all the information here. The other benefit of Roku is that if you want to mirror your which basically it means if you want to take something that's on your phone and project it onto the TV, the Roku will work with both Apple devices and Android devices. I did not know this, and I had previously been using Amazon Fire Sticks, but then I switched from an Android phone to an Apple phone and got a MacBook. I like my Apple products, and with the Fire Stick, I couldn't stream my I have workout apps, or like I work out from YouTube. I couldn't put those on the TV. And then I didn't work out for a long time. And then I got a Roku, and that all changed. Any questions? I'm just checking. Perfect. Awesome. Let me minimize that. So we got this. The next one is the Amazon Fire Stick. Again, these are going to be the similar price as the Roku. This one is by Amazon. They also have the voice activated remote. It has like Alexa. They also have the like TV controls is a possibility. And then they have different devices. Let me tell you, trying to find all the prices and everything was a bit of a search. You have to dig online. So some of these links may be useful and helpful. So they have, this one is just a remote. Okay, let me. No, that's not the devices. Where? Oh, here we go. Streaming devices. Um, so of course this just shows the Amazon Fire Stick TV, the 4K, the newest model. It's $30. Amazon does a lot of sales. I would say if you support Amazon, buy it from Amazon.com versus going to a retailer like Best Buy or Walmart because they often do deals. I'm a big fan of saving money. And however, what I will say with the Fire Stick is sometimes it's not as user friendly in my experience. If it's something you're used to, then that can be something that you want. Yes. Okay. So with the Roku, somebody asked, you can mirror on your iPhone to the TV with the Roku, but with the Fire Stick, you cannot. You can only do that with a PC or with an Android phone. So yes, thank you for that question. And so with the Fire Stick, you can only do it with Android products or the PCs. Perfect. So that is the Fire Stick. I get annoyed when the bar at the top on the Zoom kind of blocks where I can close tabs out. So next we have the device. This is an Apple TV device, not to be confused with the streaming service Apple TV Plus. Apple, come up with different names, please. I'm just kidding. So the devices start at $130. They are more money. However, this video is distracting. But so basically with this device, you can mirror with your iPhone and your Mac, obviously, because it works with Apple products. You are not able to do that with the PCs or the Android phones because Apple wants you to have Apple. My parents had an Apple TV and like I think the first model, so it's very old. And at the library in the where I teach the computer classes, we have an Apple TV, and I've been able to mirror from my iPhone when I've taught classes. Again, it is a little bit pricey, but it does. What's nice about this is that you can connect all your devices. I guess they have a FaceTime app. It's so hard to like scroll down. But the remote, oh, this is so much better than my parents. It's new. It's like so much newer. You can use Siri, and there is the voice activated here. You can it basically works really well with your Apple products, and there's things you can control from the phone. It looks like you can connect the AirPods. There's Share Play on here. There's a lot of features, and these are the two different devices that I saw. Apple TV 4K with Wi-Fi, $129, or you have with Wi-Fi and Ethernet. And to be honest, if you're like interested in this, I would talk to somebody maybe at the Apple store. They're the experts on their products. But there is that information. Okay, cool. And then you can also use a video game console of your choice. The video game consoles, they can be pretty pricey. I did not check the prices on all of these, but when I'm with my boyfriend, we do He has a PS4, and that's where we get like the Netflix apps and Hulu and all those, and are able to stream. So if you like to game, you can also, those devices also connect to the internet. And there's also the Xbox. And then there's a picture of a Wii device on here. So you can do a video game console of your choice. Maybe you already have one. So maybe you already have a way. But there is that. And then Google also has a device. It used to be called Chromecast, but now it's the Google TV streamer. It's $100. Bring to the website. Favorite entertainment with all the drama. If you like the Google products, this may be for you. But they have some accessories. There's a Q&A on here. I'm going to be honest, like you don't need to spend a ton of money on a device. That's my opinion. But here, these are the different options. There's also smart TVs. It is very likely that if you have bought a new TV recently and it's a big screen, it probably already is a smart TV and you have a way to access these apps. So you may not need a device. However, I haven't been shopping for a new TV in a long time. So I'm not quite as familiar, but basically a smart TV, it just has that internet access already built in. The analogy that I came up with, I don't know how old everybody is who's watching this or even the replay, but I remember when I got my first laptop when I started college in like 2004. Yep, I'm aging myself here, but in order to connect to wireless internet, I had to have a Wi-Fi card and I needed to insert it into my laptop. It was separate. I think of that as like the device, like the Roku, the Apple TV, the Fire Stick, the Google TV streamer, the other things I talked about. However, nowadays, I don't need that separate Wi-Fi card. It's already built in to the laptops that I have. Like my work one is a PC, and then I have a MacBook at home. And so this is kind of what that smart TV is. It's already built in, so you don't need to buy something separate. And so you may not need one. And there's also some smart Blu-ray players that you can get that would have that connection. That's a little bit dated, but you know, we have people coming into the library wanting to play CDs or play VHS tapes. So I'm not judging. You can also stream on most modern devices like tablets, smartphones, laptops, Chromebooks, MacBooks. All you need is really a connection to the internet. And most streaming services you can access it through the web or you can access it through an app. Any questions? Pause for a second, take a drink of water. Okay. The final thing, and this is for getting channels. I personally don't have a lot of experience with this, but I just learned about it from attending these classes. I used to have an outside speaker do this class and I would attend and listen. But there's HD antennas that you get from anywhere from like $12 to $150 and you can like hook it up and the amount of channels like vary by location and the antenna range. And so you can get access to like 20 to 50 channels. So you can just like plug in or set up this HD antenna. There's instructions online, or probably when you buy it, like, how do I hook this up? And you can get some channels like maybe like ABC or like the network channels that are free if you're wanting to have that option also if you wanted channels. Okay, streaming services. Okay, I'm going to talk about the main ones, and this is where the prices may change. I have heard rumors that Netflix is going to raise their prices again. Yeah, I personally canceled my Netflix about a year ago because I share an account with somebody, or well, with my boyfriend, because I would mostly watch it at his place, and yeah, why pay twice for something when I'm not using it? Um, Benefit, you can cancel things. It's wonderful. But the price plans start if you want the cheapest. Now they have advertising, so it's $7.99 a month. The standard, which allows you to watch on up to 2 screens at the same time, is $17.99 a month. And then the premium, which allows you to watch on up to 4 screens, is $24.99 a month. I will say this with Netflix, and I think other streaming services are picking up on this too. Uh, Sometime in the past, like 18 months, I would say, Netflix changed. So, what people would do, and I know I talked about this, they would share accounts. Like somebody would, let's say me, and I have 3 siblings. Let's say I was like, okay, I'm going to pay for Netflix premium for $24.99 a month. I message my siblings, hey, do you guys want to split it with me? And you guys can each watch on at home, and I'll pay for this. Maybe you pay for another one. We'll just share accounts. We can save money. Well, Netflix kind of realized people were doing that, and they changed it so they're tracking like the IP address of where you are streaming it, and so they're able to know if you're not watching it at home, and you have to like say like you're traveling, or and if you can't do that, then they require you to pay for an additional account. So basically, like everyone can stay on the same account, but instead of paying $24.99 a month, last I heard, and I don't know if this went up, but I think it was like an additional $10 a month if you wanted to add an additional user. So if 2 people were watching it in 2 different households, then you would have to pay, and so it would be like $34.99 instead of $24.99 a month if you were doing the premium. I hope that makes sense. Disney Plus has also been doing that, because I've had to text codes and be like, please help me. But what's also been happening with Netflix and other services, they have exclusive shows. So Netflix, they have like Bridgerton. I love Bridgerton. Bridgerton, the show You, House of Cards. That's an older one. Gilmore Girls is a revival, A Year in the Life. I'm a big Gilmore Girls fan. Those are shows and content that's exclusively on Netflix. So you need a Netflix account in order to stream or watch that content. And they may or may not release that on DVD. So that is something to consider when making this choice. Any questions about Netflix? Okay. This one I had to make a table because it is so confusing. And then I realized when I was practicing through this, not at work, yeah, I realized I'm like, oh, I never added the max standalone cost. So that's why there's a bullet point down here. But Disney is the parent company of Hulu and ESPN. I'm not quite sure about Max, which is HBO's service, but they have a partnership. So, Hulu is, they have their own content and own shows. Um, they used to be different from Netflix. What I think I shared with this earlier, um, or maybe not, but when I first started streaming, my first streaming service that I got, um, I think technically was Netflix, but soon after that was Hulu. And what I liked about it is, um, I was in college and, I was in classes or working or whatever. I was never around, but I could watch my shows. Hulu was like known for certain like network TV channels. If you couldn't watch a show live, I was into Grey's Anatomy then. I'm still surprised it's still airing. But I could watch the episode on Hulu the next day, and I didn't have to worry about getting a DVR and figuring all that out when I was a college student living in the dorms. I was an RA for most of my college career, so I was stuck in the dorms, and you got restrictions and limitations with that and what you can have. And also, I'm not, I wasn't the wealthiest person, and college is expensive. So, um, Hulu was, they've always had an ad supported platform. They were the pioneer of that, but they also have like a no ads option. And so you can look at the pricing here. Like ad supported is $9.99 a month. No ads is $18.99 a month if you're just watching Hulu. Disney Plus has their own streaming service. This is more for like Disney content. They also own National Geographic, I believe. So Disney content is like Star Wars, Marvel, um, the animated movies, Pixar, National Geographic. But so their service with ads is $9.99 a month, and then $15.99 a month without ads. You can bundle things together. So this is my jam. I actually, me personally, the only thing I pay for right now is this Disney, Hulu, and Max bundle here. And I hate ads, so I do the $30 no ads. That's what I do. But so you'll notice the pricing with they call it the duo, the Hulu and Disney Plus. Um, so basically, like you're getting a service for free. Um, like it's $1 more for a whole additional other service. So the bundle or the bundling is really cost effective here. And same with the no ads. So it's $19.99 a month for both. Whereas for just Hulu only, it's $18.99 a month. So like $1 more or like $3 more if you're a Disney fan, and you get all this other content. And then what they've been doing now, if you have the bundle, is you can just go into one app and be able to get content from different services. So I can go into, when I have this bundle here, I can just go into Hulu, and if they have it available, it doesn't have the whole or the whole content available, but I saw recently, like through Hulu, I can watch Star Wars movies. Okay, cool. I don't have to go into a different app if I am browsing through Hulu, but I'm like, no, I'm in a Star Wars mood. May the 4th was earlier this month, Star Wars Day. Cool. You can go watch Star Wars and you don't have to leave the app and go somewhere else. So they're trying to make it easier. Um, Max, as I mentioned before, is HBO's service. Their standalone is $9.99 a month with ads. There was a third one that I didn't type out on here, but the next step up where you can watch on two screens at the same time, but no ads, is $16.99 a month. They have one higher where you can watch on 4 screens, and it's like a higher quality. And I think that was like 20 something a month. It's linked here. I didn't link all of these. I thought I did. Those links didn't translate. Great. Oh well. What I will do before I send the slides out, I'll make sure everything is hyperlinked so you can just click the link. If you watch sports, Hulu, Disney Plus, and ESPN Plus have bundles also, so you can get the content from ESPN Plus. I sometimes like to watch UFC fights, and they will do some of the not so like super popular fights. They'll stream on ESPN Plus, and so you can watch content like that. There's also been like hockey games, especially if you are not like with hockey, or like, oh, I'm not a Blackhawks fan, but I like this team from this state. Um, and you can watch like different games going on through ESPN Plus. So there is that option. What's nice about doing the bundle versus paying for ESPN Plus separately is you can get the content directly through Hulu. You don't need to log in somewhere else. So I did used to have that one before they did the bundle with Max. But there's that. Any questions? Just checking. We're good. Awesome. Okay. Oh, yeah, Max. Okay, cool. Okay, then we also have Amazon Prime. Amazon Prime does more than just streaming. They are like, there's other benefits. It is $139 per year or $14.99 a month. With Amazon Prime, you can also buy or rent pretty much any kind of movie or TV show. But with the Amazon Prime subscription, they have content that is specifically on Amazon Prime that you can watch for free. They offer a 30-day free trial. There are some shows that are and movies that are exclusively on Amazon Prime. Of course, what I'm thinking of right now is The Summer I Turned Pretty. I always think of shows or movies that come from books because it's the librarian in me. But there's that information there. And then others. These are all the ones that I initially forgot. So we have Paramount Plus. It's $7.99 a month with ads, $12.99 a month without ads. I believe Paramount Plus is like CBS. What you may have been noticing lately is I don't know if anybody's a football fan. I have been getting into it more lately, but certain like NFL games have been aired through these streaming services. I remember there were a few that came from Paramount or Peacock. Um, and it's encouraging people to purchase the streaming services. So Paramount Plus, that is like CBS. All if anybody's a Star Trek fan, all the Star Trek stuff is on Paramount Plus, and they also do some exclusive shows. We'll see with Paramount Plus how it goes. Basically, like Netflix was the pioneer in streaming. They were the first ones, and then since they're like popular, more and more companies are adopting this format, and I think people are. It's a lot to manage on your own, and the costs add up. And so some of these companies, they're not necessarily making a lot of money. I heard that Paramount like lost money last year. I could be wrong about that, but just something to keep in mind. This is always changing. There's Apple TV Plus, that is their subscription. They have exclusive movies and TV shows that are on there. Like Ted Lasso, Severance are ones that I think of. Their price is $9.99 a month. I know Netflix and Disney Plus and Hulu, they no longer do free trials. But Paramount Plus does, Apple TV Plus did. I just didn't write it on here. I believe Peacock does also. Um, so Peacock is $7.99 a month if you have ads, or 13.99 a month with no ads. So these are some options here. Okay, I don't think I have any questions. So the other thing is you can pay per item for movies and TV. You can do this from Amazon Video. I mentioned that before. There's like Apple has theirs, like different, basically like Google Play Store, that's the App Store. A cost varies from $1.99 and up. They do have like HD and 4K when available. Yeah, I remember with Taylor Swift, the Eras tour, it went from like the movie theater, then you could like rent it um through like Amazon or whoever, and then it ended up landing on Disney Plus. So those are some options there for you. You don't have to go to the video store to rent something. You can rent it from home. Okay. No questions. Okay. There's also free services. Hey, their free services include like Crackle, Tubi, Sling Free Stream, or Pluto TV. Keep in mind, anything that is free is going to have advertisements. I remember, I think the Super Bowl was streamed for free on Tubi earlier this year. I can't remember. That's not how I watched it. But I remember seeing ads for that and that going around. Um, Free services are great, and that there's limited content, but those are things to check out. Okay. Okay. So what I shared, those were just like basically like on demand content. It's not that classic TV channels. So these are streaming services with live TV. So Hulu has a live TV option. I oftentimes these companies they give me that similar to cable kind of a thing. They'll do an initial promotion to get you in. I try to put in what the actual price is. So if you, these ones are all linked. So you can check them out. So this is where you're going to have channels. And what's nice about this Hulu, like you may see, oh my gosh, this price is so high, but it includes Hulu without ads. They have the live TV channels. There's Disney Plus with no ads and ESPN Plus with ads. They want to advertise during sporting events, I guess. So that price may be higher, but you're not having to pay the additional like $26.99 a month for Hulu, Disney Plus, and ESPN Plus. So there's some options there. Then there's DirecTV Stream. Those prices start at $59.99 a month, and the channels available depend on the package chosen. I can just take you guys here. Oh, okay, I missed that. Up to $77.98 with required fees. But like you can say like they do different packages. Oh, here we go. Let's see. So they have like an entertainment, they have choice, You can, they also have links where you can compare the packages. I thought that would be better, but so there's information on this site. Like I would, if you're interested in that, take a browse, look around. So there's that option. And then we have Fubo. This one starts at $9.99 a month. They have a free trial available. And then again, the channels depend on what you choose. So they have 461 channels available in the area here. Oh, I just saw this one. Okay. There's this slow one for $9.99 a month, $14.99 a month after trial. 53 channels. There's a cloud DVR. You can watch up to 2 screens at once. And then there's an elite. There's 297 channels. And it looks like it includes some sporting like NBA, NHL, and MLB games. And you can watch on up to 10 screens at once. And unlimited cloud DVR. This one, I think Elite is the highest, yeah. And then there's Pro, which is $64.99 a month after the trial for the first month. And then 226 channels. And so it has less channels, and then you can learn more. So it really depends on what you are wanting to watch. YouTube TV, this tends to be pretty popular with people. This is $82.99 a month. There is a free trial available, and then you have the option to get add-ons. We'll click on this. From what I've heard with people like switching and cutting the cable cord, they often choose YouTube TV if they're still wanting the channels, but not having to deal with cable. Again, there's no contract. So you can just do this, try it out. You don't like it, you can cancel, do something else. And so there's you can like there's DVR space. You can like record something if you're not able to watch it live. And there is, you can add add-ons. So there's a base plan here. And then NFL Sunday Ticket. This is only for certain NFL games. But oh, I guess it is watch every game every Sunday. Okay. So basically, like you can always watch like the NFL games if you get this Sunday ticket. So you have to pay $378 a year for NFL. But this is where you can watch anywhere. There's information here, and you may be used to YouTube, so it's a familiar platform. I've got a question. Oh yeah, big factor. What streaming service carries the Cubs games? Yeah, there you go. If you're a fan of a particular team, that that does make a difference. So in the resources, there are things that you can check for that. But if, I'm sorry, I'm not a baseball fan. I will watch UFC and NFL, and usually watch with the boyfriend, and I let him control all of that. So there's that. But from my understanding, like if they are shown on like ESPN, you have like access to ESPN's channel. If the games are shown on like ABC, the games will be on ABC. So I hope that answers that question. The final one is Sling TV. So let me grab this link. And they have, like, I guess AMC has a streaming service, AMC Plus, but they have different services, and they have different channels that that you can get access to. Uh, So you can catch live sports with Sling. Um, I would say that with your specific question about the Cubs games, reach out to a representative and just check with them, because sometimes I'm like, oh, I wish this was simple. It could, like, all the Cubs games, can you just put it on ESPN or ABC or whatever? But sometimes they like to make it complicated. Um, so yeah. Okay. Any other questions? I'm just gonna take a sip of water again. Okay, awesome. In addition, a lot of major networks have apps now that will allow you to view their content. I haven't had like the best experience with this, but there are options there now. The other thing I forgot to mention with the standalone streaming services like Netflix, Hulu, those the licenses to be able to stream that content is not guaranteed. I remember I am a fan of Buffy the Vampire Slayer, and I used to be able to watch it on Netflix, and then Netflix, it's no longer Netflix gave up, released Buffy from their library, and it moved to Hulu. And so I think it's going to stay, but I got a little scare earlier because I was doing a rewatch, and then all of a sudden it was like leaving in like 22 days. And I was like, what? I just started season 1. I cannot watch all 7 seasons and Angel, which is the spinoff, in 22 days. Turns out there was just up there because they were in negotiations. It's still there, but sometimes you may see those things. There were some shows that I used to be able to watch on Netflix that were on the CW, and then they moved to Max. So, you know, it's not guaranteed. It's not like you own, um, you're not owning the content. And so just keeping that in mind with these streaming services. Okay. I couldn't do a cut the cord without talking about Hoopla. So through the Ely Area Public Library, and if you're not from this library, you can check with your library. I've worked at a few. Every single one I've worked at has Hoopla. I think about it as like Netflix for libraries. It's a library provided service. Basically, it is like a streaming service, whereas with other digital content, we actually have to pay per like with Libby, with the books, we have to pay for I'm totally drawing a blank on a book. We'll pay for like 3 copies of the Hunger Games books. I'm like, okay, let me think of a book title. And that's why you have to place a hold, because if 3 people have borrowed that book, you can't, you have to wait until one of those copies is available. Whereas with Hoopla, it's like Netflix, it's on demand. So anything that's on the Hoopla platform, you can get immediate access to it. There is a limit of 20 items per month. The library ends up paying per use. That's how the contracts work. It is a little bit more complicated than that. So we say like a limit of 20 items per month. There may be a notice, like if we're at our limit, it may pause for a little bit. That has been happening recently. But essentially, like with Hoopla, you can like watch something and it's like streaming. There is an app, so you can add that app to your TV or your device, or you can have it like you can have it on your device and you can mirror it to the TV if you want to do that. So there's movies and TV. Those are 3-day loans. I believe with TV, it may be like a borrow, maybe a certain number of episodes. Um, yeah, because watching an entire season of a TV show in 3 days, that might be a lot. Music is a 7-day loan. There are audiobooks, ebooks, and comics. Those are 21 day loans on Hoopla. The other thing, I didn't make a slide for this, but you know what? We've got the internet. I love it. The library, if you are an ELA card holder, but if you're not, you can check with your local library. We have a library of things, and so we pay for different streaming services. So like we have the Apple TV Plus Roku streaming stick. So basically you borrow this Roku, like the library pays a subscription to Apple TV Plus. You can borrow this, you could watch all your Apple TV shows, and then you return it. This is a 3-week checkout, and you can check out up to 3 library of things at the same time. But we have a Disney Plus. We have other things. We have, of course, they call it HBO Max, but that HBO in the past like 3 years, I think they've changed the name of their streaming service like several times. So hopefully Max is sticking. But we have Hulu, we have an international, there's Netflix, we have Paramount Plus. You can see we have a Nintendo Switch. Paramount Plus, we have Peacock. We just have a Roku. If you just want to borrow the device, try it out and put your own stuff on it, great. And that's it. Okay. So that's another way. So sometimes I do that if there's like I'm thinking about doing it for Apple TV Plus because there's some movies or like limited TV shows that I want to check out and watch. There usually is a hold wait for that. So yeah, it's not it may be difficult to try to plan like if you're going on vacation and want to bring one, that may be difficult. But that is an option too. And then here are the resources that I put on here. So Just Watch is you can easily find out where to watch your favorite movies and TV shows from streaming sites. So let's say that, okay, I'm going to put Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Why not? And so here we go. We have there's 7 seasons, and here's where you can watch it. So it's available on. It's available on Hulu. It's available on Hulu Max, the bundle, of course, and same with the Disney Plus ones. And then it's also on Prime Video. But then, 30 days free. I'm like, what? But then these are where you can buy things. So Apple TV, that's like not iTunes anymore, Fandango or Amazon Video. So you can just search and see where you can watch things. And then we also have the streamable. So what's nice with this is there's a streaming finder. Giving it a minute to close my other tabs. But basically, like, you can select what channels or what you're wanting to watch. It's basically like it helps you find the best streaming service based on your preferences, including what you watch, desired channels, and hardware. And so you can use the filters to narrow down your options. So you can do both. Okay, MLB, like we had a question about the Cubs. So Chicago Cubs, there we go. Person like, I need to watch my Cubs. So you have like TV market, Chicago, Illinois. You can, I wonder if, I don't know. I've got that on here. And so this is what is available where you can get the Cubs. So Sling TV, Hulu, YouTube TV, and DirecTV via internet. So those are your options there. And then you can add in like other channels. So like I watch ABC. And then like Hallmark. So Hallmark limits like, okay, you know, like YouTube TV or Hulu. But you can do like local channels. I don't know. Like, there's different things that you can do. And so this website is pretty awesome. Trying to think. Okay. I know that was a lot. I talk pretty fast. So does anyone have any questions or specific things around like cutting the cable cord? You can drop them in the Q&A or in the chats. I'm going to leave this up. Let me I'm putting my email address on here. In case if you want to contact me. All right, we got a Q&A. Awesome. Do you need an antenna in this area to get the networks? So when it comes to like, if you are getting, if you are paying for like YouTube TV or Hulu TV, live TV, direct TV, it depends. So that's why with the streamable, bringing that back up, this streaming finder is really helpful. So that's going to be able to answer your question. So if you're wanting live TV, and then we have local channels, here are the services that will give you the local channels. And no, you wouldn't need an antenna to do it. However, you do have to pay the subscription. With that, those HD antennas that I had mentioned before, those would be a way to get some local channels, and it's really a hit or miss. It depends on where you are, And what is available to be like picked up via antenna. Um, and that would be without a subscription. So does that answer your question? Uh, and then does anyone else have any other questions? Ooh, okay, perfect. That answered your question. Is it easy to switch from antenna-based viewing to streaming service? Depends. um, each individual is different. So, um, for me, it's easy because um, it's what I've always done. Um, because I never really like I grew up with the antenna, but I had parents who set all that up, did all the things and everything. However, I my mom struggles with technology, and even so recently as of like last year, she would call me and be like, "Oh my gosh, it logged out of your Netflix account." Yes, I shared with them. I can't log in. I don't know how to do this. It glitched. How do I do this? And like I didn't like I wasn't living with them, and I'm like, oh my gosh, okay. I had to get my dad on the phone and walk them through it. So it really depends on how comfortable you are with technology. They do try to make this easier. However, um, technology glitches. I have been dealing with it a lot here at the library. Things glitch and don't necessarily work correctly. So it's easy if you're used to technology and like are very comfortable using your phone, opening apps, being able to do that, then it's easy. However, it may be a bit of a learning curve if you um, are not used to that. Um, but like for my personal preference and my experience, um, I haven't used like Hulu Live TV or YouTube TV. I've never been a fan of the channels. So yeah. However, I will say that a lot of people who I have talked to who have switched from antenna based to streaming services, a lot of them have been using YouTube TV. And that has been a smoother transition.